Okay, quick. What do you think of when I say self care? Maybe a massage, a spa day, some pampering, or that luxurious facial. But what if self care was really about your savings account, finding multiple streams of income, and letting go of the pressure to be perfect? I'm Dr. Mary Mina. Welcome to my channel, The Skin Real, where I give real people real information about their skin so that they can make informed decisions for their skin health. This is my weekly recap episode where I break down my key takeaways from my most recent interview this week with Dr. Bonnie Koo, a retired dermatologist turned financial coach for high achieving professional women. If you want to hear the full episode, be sure to check it out. All right, well, let's dive into it. What the heck do our finances and our skincare have to do with each other? Well, I will tell you one thing I see a lot as a middle aged woman is that we get on this hot girl hamster wheel of self preservation, of beauty to dos. And half the stuff we don't even know why we're doing it. We don't even like it. We just feel like it's an obligation because we are so scared or petrified of getting older. And when we look in the mirror, maybe we feel frustrated or discouraged that we didn't look like that 5 years ago. Maybe everyone's asking us, why are you mad? Why are you angry? Why are you tired? When you actually feel really good on the inside. And so a lot of times there's that misalignment between how we feel on the inside. Like I still feel 25, even though I'm about to turn 45. And we want that outward reflection to mirror what we feel on the inside. And when it doesn't, we get on this hot girl hamster wheel where we just spin and spin. We keep adding things and we're not even really sure why we're doing it. But I love how Bonnie talks about understanding money and our finances as really being a form of self care. Now, I know it doesn't necessarily sound as nice as getting a massage, which that's my absolute favorite self care, or doing some yoga. But when you understand money and your finances, you can have this whole mindset shift in your life. I feel like we sometimes just get on this train of adulthood and we just keep going and plugging away. We go to maybe a job we don't like. Not me. I love my job, but we go to a job we don't like and we just feel like this is the way it is. We work 9 to 5. Probably in reality, we're working a lot more nights and weekends, right? But we just feel like this is what we're supposed to do. We retire at 65 and then we can enjoy our life. But what is the point of retiring and then dying with our peak net worth, right? Isn't the point of having money to give us freedom to enjoy our lives and to enjoy the way we spend our days and our time? I do feel like there is this shift that perhaps the old way of doing things isn't really what we need to be doing or what's best for this day and age in this environment. And Bonnie is helping people, especially women, understand money. Because again, as women, we're often taught money is a bad word. We shouldn't think about money. We need to be martyrs. We need to do things for free. Frequently, we are doing things for free. If you're a stay at home parent, you are doing a ton of stuff that is not financially rewarded. And in many ways, people seem to devalue that. And so, as women, too, I think we are also told you're not good at money. Women aren't good at money. That's for men, that's for your husband to handle and deal with. And so, we don't learn about it and we don't educate ourselves. But times are changing. And I have to admit, I don't necessarily love looking at financial reports and talking about budgeting and things like that. But what I do like is having financial freedom. I enjoy having income to do things that I love and spend time with people and value. And so that is why I took it upon myself to start learning about this. With Bonnie's coaches in her course, she says the number one thing to do to understand your finances is not to create a budget. It's not to look at your expenses. It's really to think about your mindset. How do you think about money? It's probably has to do with how you were raised. Did you grow up in a family that had a lot of money? What were your parents' beliefs on money or lack thereof, right? What about your partner? What are their views on money? This all shapes our view. Do you think money is good? Do you think money is bad? Do you always feel like you need more and more? So, focusing on mindset is so important first and foremost before you even start looking at your accounts. Then you want to think about your spending. And I can relate this to the hot girl hamster wheel, right? And I tell people you need to do an audit of your beauty to dos and things like that. Literally sit down and write out all the things that you do, the time that it takes, the frequency that you do it. Is this a once a year? Is this once every week? And the cost, because this is important. How much does it cost to get your eyebrows done every 3 weeks, or your eyelashes, or dry brushing, or your Botox, etc.? And then your level of enjoyment, right? You can make it from 1 to 5, where 5, you love it so much, you never want to stop, and actually rank the things that you're doing to discover what are the ones that you really love that make you feel good, that help you feel beautiful. And then what are the things that you're just doing because you've never really thought about why you're doing it or because your friend does it, right? And get curious with yourself, not to judge or make yourself feel bad, but just to open your eyes up to all the things that you're doing. And if it doesn't bring you joy, why are you doing it, right? Do you feel like you have to do it? So really kind of delve into those questions, especially with the beauty stuff that we have out there. Like we are constantly being marketed to, and they get us to buy stuff, right? By making us feel like we're inadequate, that we're not good enough, that we don't look good enough, and that we need to buy this so we feel better about ourselves. But by doing this audit, you can really break down what are you doing? Why are you doing it? And the financial and time costs that's involved. And go ahead and cut the things out that aren't bringing you joy. And then use that money to look at ways to maybe invest that money. Bonnie talks about how learning about your finances and money isn't just about making a budget and spending less, although that may be something you need to do, especially if you are running into debt and things like that. But it's also about learning to create more income, to create more money. I think a lot of times, again, this is sort of a fixed mindset. You think the only money you can make is from your job, your Monday through Friday job, and that you're limited by just doing that. But I certainly feel like in this economy, in this day and age, especially after COVID, we are seeing so many unique and creative ways that people are making money, whether it's online, virtually, virtual stores, services, etc. And so instead of just looking at how to cut your expenses, which you may need to do, and do that hot girl hamster wheel audit for me, please. But you want to look at ways that you can increase your income and not just rely on one source of income, your job, right? Because that's scary. If you were experienced in COVID, maybe your salary got cut, maybe you lost your job. And if you just have that one thing to count on for your family, for your life, your livelihood, that's really scary and really, really stressful. So, equally important, create more streams of income. And I love too that Bonnie says you don't need money to make money. I think this is a limiting belief a lot of people have that, well, I can't do that. I don't have money. And certainly everyone's situation is different, but this is where that mindset shift comes in, that you can create money by offering something that people value and will pay for. And it may just take sitting down and really thinking about this. This isn't really something we're ever taught to do in school, right? We're just taught to find a job and get bonuses and increase your salary each year, so that you can retire comfortably at 65. But the days of getting a big pension from your company that you've worked for 40 some years are gone. And we really have to rethink everything about money and finances. So, this episode was not overtly about skincare and skin health, but it's about self care and thinking about money and finances as a form of self care that we need to nurture, just like we take care of our body, the nutrition that we're eating, the things that we read or consume. Understanding about your finances and money is super, super important. And maybe more important than that $200 eye cream or getting those weekly facials or pampering, that really focusing your time on learning about finances in the long run could help you out so much. So, here are some practical takeaways that you can do today that can align your wealth as well as skin. Let yourself want what you want. This is with aesthetics, beauty, personal care, and finances, right? You don't necessarily have to defend what you want to spend your money on, right? Like if getting lattes is your jam and you want to do that every day, that's okay. Or getting your Botox every 3 months because you love the glowy look that it gives your skin, or that gym membership, whatever it is. If you love it, that's okay. You don't have to justify it to someone, but you need to know why. Why do you love it? Why do you have to have it? Why? What is it about that that's so important? And it's important to be honest with yourself and not just to want something or need something because you think you should have it or it makes you look good to your friends, right? Like that's not really going to give you fulfillment in the long run. So understand why you want something. Be intentional with your beauty budget. Again, that's where that hot girl hamster wheel audit comes in. It's, of course, okay to spend on things that make you feel good. And if beauty and aesthetics is one of those, I think that is wonderful. I can see the benefits of my patients when I help them feel good on the outside, but you don't have to do everything, right? My girl math with personal care is that I keep my skincare really, really simple, right? My Dove Beauty Bar, my CeraVe lotion, my Elta or La Roche-Posay sunscreen, right? I keep it really simple. I do not spend a lot of money on my skincare. But what I do is I do invest in things like Sculptra every now and then, or a laser treatment, or some toxin every couple of months or a few times a year. So I balance things out by doing the in-office procedures I know have the biggest impact and then saving on the at-home things. Not saying that it's not also high quality, but I don't have to spend $200 on a fancy moisturizer when my drugstore brand is just as good. I also really, really emphasize prevention. If you can prevent problems, you will save so much money in the long run. So wear sunscreen, wear a hat, wear UPF clothing, don't tan. If you aren't creating that sun damage and amplifying all that collagen loss and aging, you won't need to do these more expensive procedures as often or nearly as early in your life. So prevention is so, so key. And number three is to learn about money. We are not taught this in school. I don't know why, but it's important to understand money and finances no matter what you do, no matter what your income is. Even rich people can live paycheck to paycheck. But if you really want to have that peace of mind, that self care that comes with financial freedom or not being stressed about your finances, you need to learn where your money is going and how your money is coming in and how to optimize that, just like learning about anything else in life. If you want to hear the full episode, be sure to check it out. You can click on it here, and I will see you next week.